You walk into the conference room, your heart's racing, your palms are sweaty, your stomach's doing flips. All around you, 30 people are chatting, laughing, and swapping business cards like it's the easiest thing in the world. And you're standing in the corner holding a drink you don't even want, pretending to check your phone for the 4th time this minute. This isn't just shyness, it's not even introversion, it's something deeper and far more dangerous. Something that's been quietly holding you back for years, making you miss promotions and let opportunities slip through your fingers. And the worst part? You probably don't even realize it's happening. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Why you struggle to network, what's really going on in your brain when you try, and more importantly, how a samurai from 400 years ago discovered the solution. Yes, you heard that right. A swordsman named Miyamoto Musashi unknowingly cracked the code to modern networking. Once you understand what he discovered, you'll never walk into an event the same way again. In this video, I'll give you real, actionable strategies, not fluffy self-help nonsense. Methods that have actually changed people's careers. So, if you're ready, let's begin. What have you been told about networking? Be confident. Just be yourself. Relax. All useless advice. That's like telling someone who can't swim to just jump in and go with the flow. It doesn't work. Here's the truth. Networking isn't a performance. It's a skill. It has mechanics that can be learned, practiced, and mastered. The problem is, no one teaches you those mechanics. They just throw you into the deep end and expect you to figure it out. And when it doesn't work, you blame yourself. You tell yourself, I'm not outgoing enough, I'm not charismatic enough, I'm not interesting enough. Wrong. The problem isn't you, it's the method you were taught. Listen carefully. 90% of successful people got their biggest career opportunities through networking, not from job boards, not from online applications, from relationships they built months, even years earlier. And here's the kicker. When they built those relationships, they weren't looking for anything. That's the secret. Do you know what happens inside your body the moment you walk into a networking event? Your amygdala, the part of your brain that detects danger, goes on full alert. And here's the crazy part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between walking into a room full of 30 professionals and walking into a forest full of predators. I'm not joking. From an evolutionary perspective, social rejection triggers the same response as physical danger. Thousands of years ago, being kicked out of your tribe meant death. So your brain still reacts that way today. Cortisol floods your system, your heart rate spikes, and your working memory crashes. That perfect opening line you practiced 17 times in the car? Gone. That's why just believe in yourself doesn't work. You're not fighting a lack of confidence. You're fighting millions of years of human evolution. And you can't win that battle with willpower alone. So what's the solution? Stop fighting your nervous system. Learn to work with it. And this is where Miyamoto Musashi enters the story. In 16th century Japan, Miyamoto Musashi became one of the greatest swordsmen in history. But his most famous duel wasn't won by his sword, it was won by his strategy. His opponent, Sasaki Kojiro, was known for his long sword and flawless technique. Their duel was scheduled for the morning. Kojiro arrived early, tense and impatient. Musashi, on the other hand, arrived late, deliberately. By the time he showed up, Kojiro was already angry and off balance. Musashi stayed calm, centered, and composed. When the duel began, Musashi ended it in seconds. It wasn't just superior swordsmanship, it was superior mental preparation. Most people interpret this story as intimidation or psychological warfare. It's not. Musashi understood something deeper. The battle isn't won when the swords clash. It's won before that moment, in the preparation, in the positioning, in the strategy. And that, right there, is the secret to networking. You don't win the battle while talking to people in the room. You win it before you even get there. Musashi never entered a duel blindly. He studied the terrain, calculated the sun's position, even noted the wind direction. By the time he drew his sword, he already held the advantage. Your modern-day version of that? Stop walking into events unprepared. Here's what to do, step by step. 3 days before the event, research who's attending. Check LinkedIn. Look at the speakers, the participants, the panelists. Don't just focus on the famous names. Find 3 people whose work genuinely interests you, who are connected to your field. Read their latest posts or projects. See what they've been talking about. The goal isn't to stalk them. It's to understand their world so you can build a real connection. The day before the event, send a short, thoughtful message, something like, "Hey Jennifer, I saw you'll be at the Marketing Summit tomorrow. I really liked your recent campaign about X. Curious to hear your thoughts on the AI panel there." That's it. No connection request. No, let's grab coffee. Here's what you've done. You've gone from being a total stranger to a familiar name. You've given that person a reason to recognize you. And you've made that first conversation 90% easier before it even happens. When you meet at the event, you'll already have a topic and familiarity. It's not a cold introduction anymore. It's simply continuing a conversation you already started. Most people completely waste the most valuable window at any event, the first 5 minutes. They hang back trying to warm up, waiting for the right moment. Meanwhile, small groups start forming, and those groups quickly close off. By the time you're ready to talk, you're no longer joining. You're interrupting. Musashi had a rule. Strike before your opponent has taken his stance. In networking terms, that means arrive 15 minutes early, not earlier, not later. When you get there 15 minutes early, the room's just starting to fill up. It's relaxed, approachable. That's your moment. Find someone who's standing alone, maybe near the check-in desk or snack table. They're in the same position as you, early, slightly anxious, and open to connection. Now, this is critical. Never ever open with, "So, what do you do?" That's the most boring and overused question in networking history. Instead, try, "Is this your first time at this event? Which sessions are you planning to attend later?" Simple, open-ended questions that create space for genuine conversation. With one good opener, you've done 3 things. You've acknowledged the shared awkwardness, created a topic that flows naturally, and made it easy for the other person to relax. That's how you start a real conversation, not a forced exchange of job titles. You've made the first connection. You've opened well. The conversation is flowing. Now comes the critical moment that separates amateurs from masters. Most people, at this exact point, make a fatal mistake. They feel the pressure building. The silence is coming. They panic. And then they do it. They start talking faster, filling every gap, dumping information. Stop. Here's what Musashi understood about combat that applies directly to this moment. In battle, rushed movements reveal fear. Controlled rhythm reveals mastery. When you rush, you're not showing enthusiasm. You're showing desperation. And people can feel it instantly. Instead, do this. Embrace the pause. When there's a natural break in conversation, don't jump to fill it. Take a breath, smile, let the moment exist. I know what you're thinking. Won't that be awkward? No, that's your anxiety talking. In reality, pauses show confidence. They show you're comfortable in the space. Think about the best conversationalists you know. They don't machine gun words at you. They speak, they pause, they give you space to think and respond. That rhythm, that's what creates connection. Now, here's the advanced technique, the energy match. Pay attention to how the other person communicates. Are they high energy and animated? Match that energy. Are they calm and thoughtful? Slow down. Lower your volume slightly. This isn't manipulation. It's respect. You're meeting them where they are, not forcing them to meet you. Musashi called this becoming the opponent. In dueling, he would mirror his opponent's rhythm before breaking it. In networking, you mirror to build trust, then naturally guide toward deeper conversation. Watch their body language. If they're leaning in, they're engaged. Go deeper. If they're checking their watch or scanning the room, wrap up gracefully. Say something like, I don't want to take up all your time, but before I let you go, is there anyone here you think I should meet? See what you just did? You respected their time, you gave them an easy exit, and you asked them to help you, which people actually love doing. Here's the secret. People remember how you made them feel, not what you said. If you made them feel comfortable, respected, and heard, you've already won. One more thing. Never, ever monopolize someone's time at an event. 7 to 10 minutes per person is the sweet spot. Why? Because both of you came here to network with multiple people. If you spend 40 minutes with one person, you're not networking. You're just having a long conversation. Think strategically. 3 quality connections are worth more than 1 deep dive. Make your impression. Plant the seed. Then move on. The real relationship will happen afterward, through follow-up. Remember Marcus from earlier? The first event where things clicked for him wasn't because he had one amazing conversation. It was because he had 5 good ones. And that created a ripple effect. So here's your action step for this chapter. At your next event, focus on rhythm. Not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. The pauses, the energy, the timing. Master the rhythm and you'll master the room. Here's where almost everyone gets it wrong. People think networking is about talking well. It's not. Not even close. Networking is about listening, deeply enough that the other person feels truly seen and understood. Most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to talk. They're already rehearsing their next sentence while you're still speaking. And people can feel that. Maybe not consciously, but they can sense it. You're going to do it differently. When you talk to someone, really listen. Not just to their words, to what's underneath them, their challenges, frustrations, and goals. Then ask questions that show you care, like, what's the biggest challenge you're working on right now? What's something you wish existed in your industry but doesn't yet? These kinds of questions change everything. They open people up because you're not playing a role, you're genuinely interested. And that's rare. So rare that people remember you because of it. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." In networking terms, that means don't make the conversation about you. Your achievements, your company, your story, make it about them. Your value isn't revealed by what you say, it's revealed by the questions you ask. Let me tell you about Marcus. He worked at a marketing agency in Austin, Texas. He was brilliant, creative campaigns, amazing results. But he had one problem. He couldn't network. Every event, every conference, every mixer felt like torture. He'd spend weeks preparing, writing conversation starters, giving himself pep talks. But the moment he stepped into the room, everything vanished. He'd wander around, looking for the perfect moment to join a group that never came. Eventually, he'd leave early, every single time. For 3 years, Marcus watched people with half his talent climb the ladder. They got promoted, started companies, met clients, built partnerships. And Marcus? Still stuck in the same spot. Not because they were better at their jobs, but because they were better at networking. Then one day, he decided to try something new. 3 days before an event, he looked up the guest list. He found 3 people who interested him and sent short messages. He arrived 15 minutes early, and instead of talking about himself, he focused on asking good questions. At the first event, things went slightly better. At the second, he made one real connection. At the third, someone he met earlier introduced him to someone else. By month 6, Marcus's network looked completely different. By month 12, he had 3 consulting clients, 5 major business opportunities, and a job offer for a position that didn't even exist before. Did Marcus suddenly become more charismatic? No, he just became more strategic. So, you went to the event. You had great conversations. You collected business cards. Now what? Most people send a LinkedIn request within 24 hours with a message like, "Great meeting you," or "Loved our chat," or worse, They don't send anything at all. And then they wonder why nothing happens. Here's the real follow-up formula. Wait 48 hours. Then send something thoughtful, something useful. Not let's grab coffee, not let's talk business. Those are empty phrases that go nowhere. Try this instead. Hey Jennifer, I was thinking about what you said regarding your customer acquisition challenge. I came across an article this morning about how another company tackled a similar issue. Thought you might find it interesting. Sharing the link below. See the difference? You just did 3 things. You showed you were really listening. You demonstrated that you kept thinking about their problem. You gave value without expecting anything in return. And that third point? That's the key. Networking isn't a quick exchange. It's a long-term investment. Now let me tell you about Sarah. She was a communications director in Seattle, confident with friends, great in meetings. But professional networking? That was another story. She'd go to events, give her pitch, and watch people's eyes glaze over halfway through. She'd make dozens of LinkedIn connections, but none ever led to anything real. The harder she tried, the more exhausting it became. Then her mentor challenged her. At your next event, don't talk about yourself at all. Just ask questions. At first, Sarah resisted. How will people know what I do? She asked. But she tried it anyway. Instead of leading with, what do you do? She asked. What's the biggest problem you're trying to solve right now? What's something missing in your field that you wish existed? The result? Conversations that used to last 5 minutes suddenly turned into 30. People started remembering her. They sought her out at future events. 2 months later, 3 of those conversations turned into paying consulting clients. Was Sarah remembered because she was impressive? No. She was remembered because she made other people feel impressive. Here's the truth no one tells you. Networking results are invisible at first. For months, it feels like nothing's happening. Then, suddenly, everything happens at once. It's not linear growth. It's exponential. Musashi spent years traveling Japan, fighting over 60 duels. But he didn't fight to prove himself. He fought to perfect his system. Each duel was a lesson. Each victory built the foundation for the next. When he became famous, people thought it was natural talent. It wasn't. It was years of deliberate practice. Your version of that? Commit to attending one strategic event per month for 6 months. Not random meetups. Events where your industry actually gathers. Each time, use the positioning protocol, the first 5 minutes rule, the listening weapon, the follow-up formula. At first, nothing will seem to change. Then a spark, a meaningful connection, then introductions. Then opportunities start finding you. By month 6, your professional world will look completely different. At the end of his life, Musashi retreated to a cave and wrote the Book of 5 Rings. It was filled with lessons on technique, strategy, and discipline. But its deepest message went far beyond swordsmanship. Musashi taught that mastery is a process, one built on time, patience, and repetition. Lay a strong foundation, then refine it over and over again. Translated into networking. Your first event is just the beginning. Your first good conversation? Just the base layer. True mastery comes when you repeat the system, refining it each time. And here's the most important truth of all. Networking never ends. There's no finish line, no point where you can say, I'm done. It's a lifelong practice, but if you stay patient and strategic, you'll build a professional ecosystem that propels you forward for years to come. Take a second to think about it. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? What projects do you want to be part of? Who do you want to work with? Those people already exist. Those rooms already exist. Those opportunities already exist. They just don't know you yet. Throughout this video, I've given you a lot. The positioning protocol, the first 5 minutes rule, the listening weapon, the follow-up formula. But none of that matters unless you take action. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. After your next event, come back and share what happened. Even if it didn't work, even if it was awkward, Because mastery doesn't happen overnight. Every attempt moves you forward. Let me be real with you. 9 out of 10 people watching this will do nothing. They'll say, "Great video." They'll nod, they'll move on, and 3 years from now, they'll still be stuck saying, "I wish I'd done something back then." Don't be one of those 9. Be the one who acts, who tries, who's willing to fail. Because 3 years from now, you'll look back and realize this was the moment everything changed. Remember Musashi's words, "Knowing the path and walking the path are 2 different things." Now you know the path. All that's left is to walk it. If this video brought you value, hit the like button. If you want others to benefit, share it. And most importantly, make your commitment in the comments. Because this isn't just a video, it's a movement, and you can be part of it. See you in the next one. And remember, the battle is won before you even enter the arena. Now go and sign up for that event.